It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the city of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
Hello Asheville, welcome to What's Up Asheville here on WRES 100.7 FM. I'm your host Sam Parada, and we have Christo Bubenik as our guest for the who knows how many times we've been on the show. What's up?
I'm happy to be here. This is the first time in a while. You know, there's been so much
Yes.
recovery stuff that's happening.
So much.
And so it's nice to be back talking about something that, you know, everything is still related to recovery in our city, but, you know, something that's a little less about the technical aspects of
A little
CD,
more fun.
VG, GR.
Don't even say that here. Yeah, today's episode should be more lighthearted. Hopefully we won't talk about recovery as much. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, again, Christo, you work with parks. You're like our communications person with parks, so I get to see you like about once a week every so often when we meet and stuff, but you're very like isolated from the rest of the city work. I feel like parks is its own big thing.
I mean, it's a big department. We've got, in the summer especially, because we have so many summer camps and people who just work for us when they have summer breaks, you know, they're in high school, college, as well as, you know, it just takes a lot more to keep our parks clean and safe in the summer because we've got grass that grows a lot faster, especially this summer when we've had so much rain and stuff like that. And so I think in the summer we've got about 200 people, you know, which is a really big department within itself, almost like its own organization. But we work very closely with other organizations at the city, whether it's communicating, making sure that people know the stuff that's going on, what parks are open and closed, depending on, you know, we're trying to open things in phases so that as things are safe, people can get back into them, because that's our number one goal, is making spaces that people can come together in. And you know, we realize how important that was before the storm, but especially after the storm, when a lot of people's favorite spot to go to was inaccessible. We want to make sure that we can get those as open as quickly as possible. And of course, as we know, we're not talking about different funding streams and all the technical stuff that goes in there. You know, just waiting for that go ahead from the different agencies so that we can make sure that we maximize as much money as possible for the people who live here, and also open up these little temporary things so that there are big wins. I don't think I've been on here since we opened up the temporary dog park over in Riverbend Park in East Asheville. That was great. That was such a fun, such a nice win for people. We had two very popular dog parks before the storm. They were both wiped out. One on French Broad River, one on Swannanoa River. And so now there's a place that people can go with their four-legged friends. And we know that for both the animals and their human companions, that's really, really important.
Yeah, for sure. And where is this dog park, the new one?
It's in Riverbend Park. A lot of people. So this park has been in our system for 20 years. It was whenever the Super Walmart over in East Asheville on Blue Tree Boulevard opened. There was a stretch of land that was developed, and it hasn't been, you know, really active because it had a little bit of a walking loop in there, which is part of the future Swannanoa River Greenway. But this has brought people to it who didn't know that it existed. And it's really just given new life to it. And so there's some of these nice things that have come out of a bad situation.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot, and you know, it sucks that it happened, but it happened, so might as well do some good stuff out of it.
Yes, and that particular project came out through a partnership with HCA Healthcare's Mission Health. They approached us early on in recovery and said, you know, we want to help. We want to help rebuild Carrier Park. And we're like, okay, well, we're kind of far away from that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a whole, you know, redesign and a way to make that a more resilient and a place that serves the community better. And so through looking at different things, we found out how much it would be for temporary fencing. And when we say temporary, that doesn't mean this is a pop-up that's just going to be there for like 6 months or something. It's going to be there until we rebuild permanent replacements. And so, yeah, we talked with them. They came with some really creative, cool signs. If you've been out there, they're very cute. They don't seem as stuffy as some of our, you know, like, you can't do this signs and things. And there was a great opening for the community back in July, and we had hundreds of people who came out and got caricatures of their dogs, you we had a photo booth. There were just lots of things that happened, and you could just tell from people's faces. And it rained a little bit beforehand, but that was even better because dogs love to jump in puddles.
Love it. Yes.
And our next temporary thing that we're working on is a skate rink, because there was one of those in Cary Park.
I missed that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. I mean, our town is big on recreational skating, whether that's quad or inline, which is a little hard to do on greenways because there are pebbles, rocks, different things like that on the terrain, as well as inline hockey. And so we've identified a spot. We are working through the different construction bids that people have come in, but hopefully that'll be something that in the next few months we're opening and people are out there in an open air space getting their skate on.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot is going on. And you mentioned this big win. I keep hearing people say little wins, but I think all wins are big. What else has opened since the storm hit, or what outside of this project you just mentioned, anything else taking place?
I don't remember last time I was on here, but
I think before the storm.
I think so too. And in just before Memorial Day, we were able to open a lot of spots along the French Broad riverfront. Cool. And so there's detours along the Greenway. French Broad River Park and part of Carrier Park are still closed because they're not safe, and until they are, we won't reopen them. Yep. But a lot of the riverfront areas are open now, which is great. We have completed a lot of work in Riverside Cemetery, and we're very, very, very close to completing this next phase of it. Right now we've got some temporary different hours because we've got people in there with heavy machinery, so we can't have folks from the community in there during that time. And same with Richmond Hill Park. We are very, very close. I'm hoping, within the next week or two, but definitely before Labor Day, being able to reopen that park. And then again, some spots, there's still bridges that need to be rebuilt, trail repair that has to work, some stuff to the disc golf course, but we want these spaces. We want people in these spaces, right, and people want to be in them. People definitely want to be in them, and we've got an awesome customer service team that's done a fantastic job of letting people stay in the, keeping people in the loop, and when they call, or if they're emailing, making sure that whenever there's a milestone and update that they're sharing that with folks. And so that's we know that there's some stuff that is several months or even years away, but as much stuff as possible, that's our goal.
So if you're listening on Today Live, on August 13th, just making sure 1 to 2 weeks, as Chris said. If you're listening to this 2 weeks from now, then it probably already happened. It probably already opened. So
yes, and we keep this information on our website. So if you go to ashevillec.gov/parks, sometimes our website seems a little wonky in terms of trying to navigate to places, but all of our parks have a location page, and it's got all the latest information there.
And is that where people can sign up for a newsletter too?
Yes, we've got 4 different newsletters. One is just the general one that comes out once a month, and then we also have specific ones for families and parents and families. One for active older adults called Thrive 50 Plus, and then another one for outdoors. And in the wake of the storm, we had to cancel a lot of our outdoor programming. Some of it came back this summer with camps and some stuff for adults. But although we're not back to a 100% slate of things for the fall, I'm happy to say that a lot of the favorite outdoor things, hikes, fly fishing,
we're about to talk about all of it here.
River snorkeling, there's a lot of that stuff that's back. So again, like you said, there's big wins, little wins, all sorts of wins, but we know that what we offer is so important to people in the community, and so to be able to bring some of it back has been.
I mean, just the fact that parks is still open and active and doing stuff for the community after the storm is nothing short for a miracle. So
in addition to having these spaces that people can go to, whether they just want to by themselves connect with nature, or they want to connect with other neighbors and folks and congregate and gather, we know that's important, but also having programming around it, whether it's line dancing, weaving, playing cards, basketball, flag football, all those things, that it's important. And we are one of the only organizations in our city that offers these things at either free or very, very low cost of entry. And we even have a scholarship program called SOAR. Right now it's just available for youth, but it's to break down those barriers. There are a lot of people who were struggling before the storm and a lot more people who are struggling afterwards, and we don't want cost to be a factor that keeps anybody away from the power that comes with Parks and Recreation.
The power that comes with Parks and Rec. Yes, I love that. So do you want to talk about Burton Street first, or do you want to jump into the program manual? Because we have plenty to talk about.
Yeah. Well, the new program guide is out.
Yes.
So if folks want to pick up an actual physical copy, we have those available at every community center. It's also at City Hall. Offices out at Recreation Park. Yes, hold it up. Love that.
For the YouTube channel, if you want to see the project manual, it's very nice. It's nice. I've never seen that in person before.
Yes, and we also have them available at county libraries. So they may not be out there yet because this is kind of hot off the press. And it's got everything from September to December. So lots and lots of good stuff. We also have it available in Spanish on our website, which again is asheville.nc.gov/parks. And then using Google Translate, not the actual PDF of it because I don't think technology is there yet. But all of our programs are available online as well, easy to search, do filters and stuff like that. And with Google Translate, I think it's available in 130 something languages. So hopefully, again, there's not a barrier for folks in that area as well. But yeah, as you mentioned, one of the first events that comes up in September for us is the Burton Street Agricultural Fair. And this is, I believe, the 12th annual version of it, since it's sort of been reimagined and revived. Burton Street neighborhood was originally founded by E.W. Pearson, one of our early civic leaders, very Renaissance man who did so many different things. But one of them was he started the Buncombe County District Agricultural Fair, and that was much more what you think of as in terms of county fairs and stuff like that. This was during segregation, so it was black families from throughout Western North Carolina came to it, and there were pie baking contests, parades, livestock, all this sort of things. The current version is not that agricultural focused, but it's still called the Ag Fair.
It has a name on it.
Yes, exactly. Okay. for the legacy, but it's more focused on community vendors. There's a kid fun zone, DJ and dancing, the John Hayes high stepping majorettes and drum corps.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Super easy unless you're saying it all the time. As we've gotten to the CDBGDR, we can just do that.
Yes.
That
Again,
these days.
don't say that in the show.
But also one of the things that's really exciting about it this year is we have a new playground and a completely rebuilt basketball court over at Burton Street Park and Community Center. There's some changes to the outside area. There's going to be some additional things like picnic tables and accessibility upgrades and expanded parking. But the first phase of this is the playground, which is getting installed as we speak. It just arrived on pallets. It's all wrapped up and everything, but will be available by September 6th when we do the ribbon cutting. And on the new basketball court, there's going to be a 3v3 or 3 versus 3 basketball tournament that people can sign up for. There are cash prizes. All of that starts at noon. So the ribbon cutting's at noon. The basketball tournament starts at 12:30.
And this is happening, sorry, I missed the date.
Yes, it's on September 6th from noon to 6 at Burton Street Community Center, which is 134 Burton Street over in West Asheville. And so 12 o'clock is the ribbon cutting. There'll be some brief remarks from our director, D. Tyrell McGirt, as well as probably an elected official or two. And we'll do that. And then at 12:30, the 3 versus 3 basketball tournament starts. And from 1 to 2, there will be a number of performances from the John R. Hayes high step-in majorettes and drum corps.
The court looks really cool.
It does. They just painted and lined it, and it's sort of if people who are listening have been to Grant Southside Center, Walton Street Park, or Roger Farmer Park, we've been making some. The courts are a little more artistic than they used to. They should be fun, and so there's lots of colors. They're pieces of art, and they just they bring a lot of personality to them, and hopefully it makes it places that people. I mean, our courts are always packed. I gotta say, our town is active as can be. We will never be able to create enough playing space for people, and of course, some of it just happens. It's like when people are in school, maybe they're not as busy, but after school, there's a lot of demand, whether it's for rectangular fields, triangle fields, hard courts, pickleball, tennis, All of
them.
it.
All of them.
Our town definitely takes advantage of all the opportunities that are out there.
Which, I mean, is great. Go out and meet people, I guess. It's just one of those things. Grab a group of friends, go out, check it out. But things are finally opening up, so take advantage. That's what I'm going to tell you. Just go ahead and take advantage.
Yeah, we right after the hurricane, we had to cancel a number of events. Some of it, like we didn't have electricity for a while. We didn't have communications for a week. We didn't have water that we could use, and so yes. So when you're talking about spaces that have restrooms and kitchens and water fountains and things like that,
yeah.
we just always have to make sure that we're keeping our community healthy, happy, and safe. And so yeah, it was great to see some of that stuff come back in the spring, but then to see even more of it come back this fall. And in addition to some of those old favorites that people are used to and are very comforting, we've got so many creative people who work on our programming side of things, and they have come up with like some new innovative, for all ages. There's always new stuff. Some of it doesn't hit the way we think it's going to. A lot of it does, and it's my job to make sure that people know about it.
Yeah.
And so it's always great when I'm going through the program guide, because for me as well, I'm not in those meetings where the programming folks are bouncing ideas. Yeah, and so to see the stuff, I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've glanced at this, and there's a few things that I'm very interested in, like the adult archery.
Yep. Well, and
sounds really cool.
And most of our programs, even if they're free, registration opens up for them 30 days out, and some of them do have space that's limited, like archery. Okay. And I want to say that starts maybe on the 13th of September, so registration may have just opened for that this week, and that is always a popular one, and so it will fill up pretty fast.
Yeah, so get your hands on one of these real nice program manuals and sign up for stuff. And I want to go over that a little bit too, because we used to have I think I had you on the show once, or someone else from Parks, to talk about summer events, and you already mentioned it, but there's activities for all ages. So doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what your physical abilities are, there's something for you here no matter what.
Yeah, speaking of all abilities, we have a therapeutic recreation department, which is for people who may thrive with a little bit more help, with some adaptive stuff. And this coming up in the next month, in October and November and stuff, we've got adaptive archery for those folks, as well as adaptive bowling, adaptive glow rock climbing, and something really cool. I think that's about a month. I think it's in September. There's an event called Kicking It with the Fam, and kids versus the parents in a kickball game.
Okay.
And there's gonna be a cookout. And all of that is based at Murphy Oakley Park and Community Center. And last summer, probably about 3 months before the storm, I feel like there's always like before Helene, after Helene.
Yeah.
We opened up the city's first adaptive playground, and so
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's a great space. Thankfully, it didn't suffer much damage at all to the storm, and so that's been a really big. It's been a very popular spot, not just for folks who need those adapted units, but for everybody, because it's not made just for one particular segment. It's made for everybody to enjoy, all ages again.
Exactly. The idea of making things accessible for a group of people makes it accessible for everyone. So it's one of those great positive give and takes. Well, there's no taking, it's only giving, really. So yeah, if you see the program manual, there's a little boy with, I don't know his name, the raccoon. Does he have a name?
We have sort of been.
Does it have a name?
So for those who don't know, we have a mascot for our department, and it's a raccoon, and we have gone through like a couple of different.
Do you want to just take the spotlight and make it official here?
I think that we might call on our community to name.
I like that too.
We've got 2 mascot costumes, so that's the opportunity to have 2 different names. And I think that might be something as we roll into fall, that we have a little contest and have a little fun with it. Yeah. Again, the people who work in our department are really innovative and really creative, but that's only because we are drawing from people who live here in the community. And in addition to folks being very active and very health conscious in Asheville, they have creativity that is unparalleled.
Yes.
And so they come to us with ideas all the time. Some of them are maybe a little too creative, and maybe we can't make them happen. But it's great to live in a city that's got that, because when I go to conferences and stuff, people sometimes, they're like, oh yeah, we can't get people to participate in anything. Or if we are, building a new playground, it's like pulling fingernails off of them to try to get them to even weigh in on a color or whatever. We do not have that problem in Asheville.
We do not.
Even before we're accepting input, people are letting us know that they've got some really cool proposals, and we just have to let them know when's the right time to bring those to us. And that's what'll be exciting about some of these. So we've got recovery projects that are happening. Some of them are temporary. Some of them will be permanent. We also have a bond that was, even in the wake of the storm last November, the
people turned out.
Yeah, the Parks and Recreation bonds had is either 80 or 81%, maybe it's 79. It was somewhere around 80% of folks who said, yes, we want to make our system the best it can be. We want to enhance things across. We want to invest in Parks and Recreation, and so that's a number of different community investment projects that will be going on. Currently, I think the ones that we've announced so far, there's Walton Street Park, reimagining and the area where the historic pool is, Malvern Hills Pool, which engagement for that will start in fall, so stay tuned. I know that there's a lot of people who are very interested in that, as well as a pickleball complex. We put an RFQ out there, and so we'll be I don't know the date. Anyway, sometime soon we will be deciding who will be helping with that. And I know that's another thing that is really popular with people from all neighborhoods, all income levels, all ages. Pickleball has just taken off in a way that I would never have imagined. I worked in Parks.
Couple of years, yeah. I mean,
I worked in Parks and Recreation for a while, and it was kind of a joke that that pickleball was for a certain type of person years ago, and so I would have imagined that when you go out to courts that there are
packed.
people of and like I said, all backgrounds, all ages. It's popular. And
I tried my hand at pickleball once too. I was like, I could get into this.
I think you could get into it. I've definitely gotten into it, and it's something that's fun to do. If you're somebody who goes for brunch with your friends on Saturday or Sunday morning,
right?
Rather than just starting to drink mimosas at 11 o'clock, maybe do something physical and conversational for an hour or two, and then then hit the mimosas.
Right. We're not saying you should, but that's what people do.
Yes, if that's your thing,
Well, I feel like pickleball one of those things that everyone loves to make fun of, and then you try it and you're like, ooh, well. I mean, I've only played it twice, but it wasn't my thing. But I enjoyed it, so it's nice. But yeah, going back to this raccoon, hopefully next time he has a name, or she, I don't know.
Yes, yes. I would say let's go ahead and say by New Year's, by 2026.
We'll see.
Yes, and we like alliteration, so that's the thing we've been playing around with. But that may not be what people in the community want, and we are community driven.
Yes, so whatever you all decide, that's what he'll be named. But yeah, so this is the all age program.
Yes.
So it's got everything for everyone. So just because you see the cute little raccoon, what is he doing? Drawing with a boy? It's not for children.
That was actually at the grand opening of Memorial Stadium. If you've not been to Memorial Stadium,
go check it out.
Absolutely, it's got a community track, which is a very unique amenity. There are not a lot of community. I used it.
I run there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm glad to hear that. And the playground that's next to it is a really fantastic playground. You got a turf field. There was a lot of work that went into that, and a lot of community input. And that day that we opened it, we invited all of our community partners and just different organizations that offer recreation, like disc golf, fencing. Again, you name it, Asheville has it. It's out there, and so it was a great chance for us to showcase other people who kind of fill in those gaps that we're not able to do because we can't do everything.
Yeah.
And so it's great to see that other people are not just sitting around and waiting for their government to do something. Like they're doing it themselves,
there, yes.
you know.
I also see here Barktoberfest.
Yep, we have done Barktoberfest, I think, a couple of times, and then we weren't able to do it last year. But that is your opportunity. It's going to be at the temporary dog park at Riverbend to bring out your four-legged friend. It has a little bit of an Oktoberfest bent to it in terms of there's probably some Oompa music or whatever, but there's different skill levels, giveaways. There's a costume contest, and it's a fun way to celebrate a day.
Yeah. So yeah, again, like, this thing is great. Again, I've never seen one in person, but I'm keeping this one, by the way.
Yes, that's for you, and I left one here at the desk in WRES. People can get them at community centers, public libraries, as well as at City Hall, and some other places around town. And if they are interested more in stuff that is, just for people who are 50 or better, we have that newsletter that comes out every other month. Kids, youth, and teens, we have a newsletter for them. Outdoors as well, and then just the general newsletter. And the specialty newsletters are more events focused, and the general newsletter has a lot of updates about projects and end events and stuff too.
So what are your top 3 most like exciting things that you have done or that you want to try that are found here?
There's so much that it's hard for me to
just give me your top 3. Don't
them.
do that to me.
I really like that there is stuff that's very specific for different folks. We have the Asheville Buncombe Senior Games that happens every year in the spring, and in the fall, the team that's responsible for putting that on, they've got clinics I think every other week.
Okay.
A track and field club, and outdoors. In addition to archery, like you had mentioned, we have a whole fly fishing series, which is something that for me personally, I would like to learn. I mean, I hear that once you start it, it'll be your new obsession.
Right.
But it goes all the way from like the intro 101 course to doing knots and riggings and fly casting, even creating your own lures and stuff like that.
Cool.
And one thing that I've been kind of curious about and is apparently really popular, our first 2 sessions are already filled up, is river snorkeling. And so this is not in the French Broad.
Okay, I was just going to...
No, that we have a lot of safe and clean mountain waterways and streams.
Yes, we do.
That are a short drive away from the city. And so you get to see right underneath the surface that there's a whole aquatic ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I seen pictures of people. I think that it's like 12 and older. Yeah, salamanders, hellbenders, all sorts of cool stuff. And so I think that there might be one of those that I sign up for in September to head out on.
I mean, do it while it's still warm out. You can get in the river without, catching frostbite.
And with some more outdoor stuff, we've got a new bocce league that will be on the Monday afternoons or Tuesday afternoons at Montford. Intro to golf. There is a ton of stuff for everybody. And I want to say that for kids and teens, there's a bunch of new teen programs. This is a group that a lot of stuff that existed for them was impacted. And so trying to bring things into there. There's like an adulting 101 class that teaches you how to do resume, cooking, interview
super
skills.
Stuff.
Some of those things that are really important for folks that age. A teen fitness class, a hiking group called Trekking with Teens. We also have a hiking group for people who are 50 or better. There's a naturalist one for all ages. There's also a therapeutic recreation, hiking and walking club for folks who need some adaptation and stuff like that. So yes, flip through the book, spend some time with it,
cool stuff,
take a pen and star the things that you are interested in signing up for, and make sure that when the registration opens up that 30 days out, that you have your alarm set, because some of them fill up really, really fast. And I do want to mention, I think that there are a handful, one here or there spots in our after school program that are still open, and that is really, really rare. And so if you don't have after school care for your family yet,
take advantage.
You might be able to find it. And at Grove Street Community Center, which used to be called Senior Opportunity Center downtown over here on Grove Street, they're trying a new thing out called APR after school den or APR Discovery Den, and it will be after school, but without that, it'll be once a week. So it's not that week everyday commitment with cooking, pottery, music, STEM, digital arts, and all that stuff.
Cool. Also, Halloween stuff in the back. People love Halloween.
Yes, we're a Halloween city.
Sadly, we gotta leave you with this. The time's up. Thank you for listening. But hey, there was so much stuff in here. Go get one. It's really cool.
Yes, and you can also view it online at asheville.nc.gov/parks.
There you go. All right, Asheville. Thank you, and have a good one. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRS 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Thank you for listening.